The psychology of people who feel guilty for resting. There are people in this world who do not know how to truly rest. Their body may be still, but their mind does not stop, because somewhere inside them, a quiet voice keeps whispering, "You should be doing more. You haven't earned a break. You don't deserve to stop." And so, even when they finally lie down, they do not relax. They negotiate with themselves. They justify. They explain. They apologize for simply needing to breathe. This is the psychology of people who feel guilty for resting. And the truth is, this has very little to do with laziness and everything to do with worth. 1. When doing becomes a condition for existing. For many people, this begins early in life, in homes where worth was measured by performance, where praise only arrived when achievements did, where love felt conditional. Maybe rest was called unproductive. Maybe slowing down was labeled weakness. Maybe the people around them were always working, so stillness felt foreign. So the child learns, to be safe, I must be useful. To be valued, I must keep going. To stop is to risk being left behind. Psychologists call this internalized productivity conditioning. Your nervous system ties identity to output. You don't rest because you never learned that you were allowed to. 2. The nervous system learns to stay alert. Over time, the body adapts. It becomes wired for motion. Alert, tight, on guard. The stress response. The same system meant to protect you never fully shuts off. So when you rest, your brain doesn't calm down. Instead, it sounds alarms. You're falling behind. Others are doing more than you. You're wasting time, and the guilt appears. Not because you are wrong, but because your nervous system has mistaken stillness for danger. 3. The identity built on self-sacrifice. Many people who feel guilty for resting are incredibly caring. They work hard. They support others. They rarely complain. They become the dependable one, the strong one, the reliable anchor in chaos. But quietly, a dangerous belief forms. My needs come last. Rest becomes optional. Work becomes identity. And exhaustion becomes a normal state of being. So normal that peace feels uncomfortable. 4. The inner dialogue, soft but harsh. Inside, the voice is rarely aggressive. It is subtle, reasonable, polite. It says things like, "I'll rest after I finish everything. I'll take a break when I deserve it." Other people have it harder, so you push through, past tiredness, past emotion, past your own limits. And when you finally do rest, you don't feel relief. You feel like you've done something wrong. 5. Rest feels unfamiliar, not wrong. Here's the truth psychology reveals. People who feel guilty for resting are not addicted to work. They are addicted to permission. They rest only when they can justify it, when they've earned it enough to silence the inner critic. This is not laziness. This is survival learning. And survival learning does not disappear just because you intellectually understand it. 6. The emotional cost of never stopping. The cost of this pattern rarely erupts all at once. It erodes slowly. It shows up as chronic exhaustion, emotional numbness, inability to enjoy small moments, burnout disguised as discipline, relationships running on autopilot, identity confusion when not achieving, and perhaps the deepest cost of all, not knowing who you are outside of what you produce. 7. Why compliments don't fix it. People may call you hardworking, dedicated, impressive, and part of you appreciates it, but part of you feels trapped by it because now your identity is tied to effort. To stop working feels like disappearing. So you keep going, not from passion, but from obligation to a role you never consciously chose. 8. Relearning rest without earning it. Healing is not about quitting everything or rejecting ambition. It begins with one subtle shift. Rest is not a reward for being exhausted. Rest is a basic human need. Not someday, not when everything is perfect, not when you've proven enough. Now, psychologists call this self-permissioning, retraining your brain to see rest as safe. At first, guilt will appear. It always does. But guilt is not proof of wrongdoing. It's simply a memory of old conditioning. 9. Practicing rest like a language. Rest is not just sleep. Rest is mental stillness, emotional pause, unstructured time, existing without performance. And like any language, it feels awkward at first. So start small. Sit without doing anything for 5 minutes. Rest without explaining why. Allow yourself to do something unproductive. Notice the guilt without obeying it. Bit by bit, the nervous system learns. Nothing bad happens when I stop. 10. The closing reflection. If you're someone who feels guilty for resting, let this sink in. You are not born to endlessly prove your worth. Your existence is not a transaction, and your value does not rise or fall with productivity. You are allowed to stop, to breathe, to be, not because you have earned it, but because you are human. This is Ethiax, where psychology meets responsibility, and responsibility begins when you finally understand caring for yourself is not selfish. It is the foundation that allows you to exist without disappearing into exhaustion.